Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Plant Pathology Pathsala. So in this video, we will discuss about transmission of plant viruses. What are the modes through which virus transmit? So transmission is different than the movement. How? So in movement, plant virus move from one plant cell or tissue to another tissue or plant cell. So the movement is inside a single plant itself, not from one plant to another. But in case of transmission, the plant virus transmitted from one plant or one host to another host, another plant. Okay, this is the difference between transmission and movement. So movement is mediated from one cell to another cell through plasmodesmata, and for the long distance travel it the virus uses the phloem tissue for long distance travel or long distance movement, whereas for transmission of plant virus from one plant to another plant, various modes are there. It may be mechanical or it includes some biotic vectors, biotic agents like fungus, insect, protozoan, nematodes. So many modes are there. So we will discuss here 10 major modes of virus transmission, that are mechanical transmission, grafting, vegetative transmission, seed transmission, pollen transmission, Dodder transmission, insect vector, the fungal vector, the protozoan vector, and the nematode vector. So among all these modes, this insect vector, it contribute around 80% of the viral transmission. So major mode of viral transmission is the insect vectors. Okay, so let's discuss all these major modes of viral transmission one by one. First, the non-vector mode of transmission means without any biotic agent, they are transmitted from one plant to another plant. So, first one is the mechanical transmission. So, mechanical transmission occur by the contaminated tools or hand or contaminated equipments. Okay, so this contaminated sap, actually the infected sap from the sap from infected plant will transfer to another host or plant through either contaminated tool or by humans while traveling or by grazing animals. So by mechanical means, that is the mechanical transmission. And most important example, very important, the tobacco mosaic virus. This is the virus that transmitted from one plant to another by mechanical transmission. Reason I have already discussed in my previous videos, that why this virus is favorable for mechanical transmission, because of its high longevity, high in vitro dilution point, as well as its dilution and that denaturation point, or that temperature at which this virus is got deactivated is very high, that is 90 degrees Celsius, and longevity in vitro for the TMV is around 12 years. So this is about the physiochemical properties of the TMV, the tobacco mosaic virus. So for detail you can check my previous video on the characteristics and properties of the virus. There I have mentioned about various characteristics of virus with examples. So as the virus, the TMV, is very stable up to 90 degrees Celsius, that's why the mechanical transmission is possible for this virus. Otherwise virus will be denaturated or it will get degraded, it's lose its infectivity as well as its integrity or stability. Next major mode is grafting. So virus moves from infected scion or rootstock to another healthier one. Okay, So this is generally for the fruit crops, obviously, because grafting mostly practiced in fruit crops only, the perennial one. Okay. And best example is citrus virus. Citrus virus transmitted through grafting. Remember the examples of each mode of transmission. Okay, this is very important. Most of the viruses that affecting fruit crops are transmitted by grafting. Next important mode of non-vector transmission is vegetative propagation. So through this mode, the virus transmit or spread through the tuber, bulb, sucker cuttings. So whatever vegetative propagation planting materials are there through which the virus transmit. Best example is the banana bungita virus. So by the infected sucker, the virus spread. Next, about the seed transmission. So some virus also vertically transmitted from the parent to offspring. Okay, but the contamination may be just superficial or maybe internally. So superficial contamination will include the seed coat transmission or seed coat contamination, whereas the if the virus is inside, that may transmit from one generation another generation, that for that transmission or spread, the virus must be present inside the seed, that is in the endosperm or either in the embryo. Okay, so seed transmission, so see, in seed major three parts are there: seed coat, the endosperm and the embryo. Okay, so TMB generally transmitted outside the seed on the seed coat only, that is just the mechanical transmission only. Okay, the virus does not enter into the seed tissue. And the second important seed transmission is the through the endosperm. This is very important. The cucumber mosaic virus, it is actually present in the cotyledon region of the cucumber seed. Okay, and then when the seed will grow, that plant will become infected plant will grow from the infected seed. Okay, then the embryo transmission occur in bean common mosaic virus. Okay, remember the example of these three, these are very important: seed coat transmission for TMV, endosperm transmission for CMV, and embryo transmission for BCMV, the bean common mosaic virus. Then the next mode of transmission is pollen transmission. These are very specific viruses that are only transmitted by pollen. So either through self pollination or cross pollination, this pollen will further fertilize, the infected pollen will further fertilize its own flower or new flower, and that from that infected embryo will grow, and the further plant that will grow from that will be virus infected only. So example of virus carried through the pollen is the tobacco streak virus and prunus necrotic ring spot virus. These are very important, most frequently asked question. Okay, the pollen transmission virus, tobacco streak virus and prunus necrotic ring spot virus. Next important mode of transmission is Dodder transmission or the coscuta. This is a phanerogamic plant parasite. So these are plants only, but it can't synthesize its own for food as well as for the nutrients as well as for the water also. It depends on another plant, another herbaceous plants. Okay, so the coscuta, this is acting as natural bridge. Remember the term, the natural bridge. So what happened, this virus initially in this coscuta, this is a phanerogamic plant parasite. This actually infect a, when it infect a infected plant, virus infected plant, after that if it infect, because the virus transmit from infected plant to a healthy plant through this coscuta bridge. That's why it is known as natural bridge for the virus. Okay, so example of virus that can spread through the coscuta from healthy plant to an infected plant are very important example: the tobacco ring spot virus and tomato bushy stand virus. These are very important. Okay, directly asked question. Means in various exam, in any type of competitive exam, definitely you will get 2-3 questions from the transmission part. So remember the example of each mode of transmission especially. Next, the most important insect vector. So if you consider the biological agents for virus transmission, the most important is the insect vector. Apart from this, the fungus, protozoan and nematode also transmit vector, but these three are minor biological vectors that transmit or spread plant viruses. The major 80% of the viruses are transmitted by insect vector, and more specifically by the homopteran insect, the sucking pest. That includes the aphids, acid, hoppers. Okay. So just remember, here I have given some examples only. In next video we will discuss in detail about how this insect vector transmit the virus, what are the modes, what are the types, like non-persistent, persistent, semi-persistent, then persistent propagative, persistent, circulative. So these are various types are there. So we will discuss all these things in detail. It means how virus transmitted by aphid, mealybug, whitefly, they are transmitting the virus in different way. Okay, so each mechanism we will discuss all that all one by one. Even this fungus and protozoan also we will discuss one by one. Here just we will just read out it, means just example we will study. So this aphid vector is the most important vector for the potty viruses, the potato virus, the potty virus family. For this, the aphid vector is most important, mostly transmitted by the aphids only, this potty viruses. Then the leafhopper, transmitting the wound tumor virus, the plant hopper, transmitting the rice rat stunt virus, tree hopper, transmitting tomato pseudoculita virus. This was asked in the this question actually asked in the 2024 ASRB exam. This is exceptional case actually. The tree hopper only transmit this topoku virus, tomato pseudoculita virus, topoku virus. Okay, this is a single means this tree hopper only transmit this single tomato pseudoculita virus. So remember this. Then mealybug transmitting cocoa swollen shoot virus. Mealybug is a very less efficient insect vector that transmit only few vectors, the badna virus. So cocoa swollen shoot virus it transmit. Then whitefly transmitting virus in semi-persistent manner, especially the Bergamo virus. So remember this, whitefly transmit Bergamo virus. This potty virus is transmitted by aphid, mealybug transmit badna virus. So we will discuss. Okay, just remember this thing. Then thrips transmit the tospo virus, tomato spotted wilt virus. Then beetle transmitting the como virus, the cowpea mosaic virus. Okay, next about the fungal vectors transmitting the viruses. So fungus either transmit the viruses either means as the means it may be transmit the virus may be transmitted either through the zoospore or by the mycelium, and also this virus may contaminate the fungus just superficially over the zoospores, and in some cases virus may colonize inside the zoospores also. So we will discuss that. So example of fungus that transmit plant viruses is Syncytium and Olpidium. These two fungus, these two fungus belong to Chytridiomycetes. Okay, so only the Chytridiomycetes fungi transmit the plant viruses. That too include this two, Syncytium and Olpidium. Syncytium transmit the potato virus X and Olpidium transmit the tobacco necrosis virus, lettuce big vein virus. Remember this example. These are very specific vectors. Tobacco necrosis virus is not transmitted by other vectors. It will transmitted by Olpidium only. Okay, so remember this. Then the protozoan vectors. Initially, this is included under the fungal vectors only, but later when the fungal classification was updated by Kirketel 2008, new classification was given, then this was actually separated from the fungal kingdom. So actually the plasmodiophorales, the protozoan vectors, here the chytridiomycetes are there. These are the plasmodiophorales that are the protozoan vectors, specifically this Polymyxa, and another is Spongospora. These two are the protozoan vectors that are responsible for spreading the plant viruses. Okay, initially as these vectors are considered as fungus only, so the furovirus, they are named like this, furovirus, okay, that transmitted by Polymyxa gramineae. We will discuss in detail, okay. Next, the nematode transmitting virus. So nematode actually transmit nematode transmitting viruses are classified into two groups, the nepo virus and tobra or netu virus, NETU. Okay, nepo means nematode transmitting polyhedral virus, means the spherical viruses, and this tobra or netu virus means nematode transmitting tubular virus. Okay, the rod shaped virus. So nepo viruses are transmitted by this Zephynema species, and this netu virus or tobra virus are transmitted by the Trichoderus or Paratrichoderus. Okay, so this is about the vectors transmitting the plant viruses, the insect, fungus, protozoan as well as nematode. However, some non-vector transmission modes are also there, like mechanical transmission, grafting, vegetative propagation, seed transmission, pollen as well as Dodder. So this is in brief about the plant virus transmission. We will discuss the insect, fungus, protozoan and nematode in detail in separate videos. Okay, so thank you for watching.